Imagine a world where the Ottoman Empire, a bridge between East and West, never collapsed. Could it have brought stability to the Middle East, prevented global conflicts, or even become a superpower rivaling the great empires of the 20th century? What would the world look like today if the sick man of Europe had defied the odds and survived? Stay tuned as we dive into this fascinating alternate history. At its height, the Ottoman Empire spanned 3 continents, connecting Europe, Asia, and Africa through trade, diplomacy, and military strength. Istanbul, the empire's capital, was a crossroads of cultures and commerce. But by the 19th century, the cracks began to show. Internal corruption, nationalist uprisings, and territorial losses plagued the empire. The Tanzimat reforms, 1839 to 1876, aimed to modernize the state, introducing secular courts and granting equal rights to all citizens. Yet, these changes often clashed with traditional power structures, leading to resistance and instability. Another critical factor in the empire's decline was its loss of key territories during the Russo-Turkish Wars, 1768 to 1878. These conflicts weakened the Ottoman military and drained its resources, leaving it vulnerable to further aggression from European powers. Imagine if the Ottomans had developed a stronger diplomatic strategy or modernized earlier to counter these threats. Could their decline have been slowed or even reversed? Imagine a merchant in Istanbul, once a vibrant trading hub, watching fewer ships dock in its harbors as European powers dominated global trade. Could more decisive reforms have preserved the Ottoman Empire as a global power? What if the Ottomans had succeeded in modernizing? What kind of world might we live in today? To survive, the Ottoman Empire would have needed to adapt, much like Japan did during the Meiji Restoration, 1868 to 1912. Japan transformed from a feudal state into an industrial powerhouse, and the Ottomans were already laying the groundwork for similar progress. The Imperial School of Medicine, 1827, and military modernization efforts showed glimpses of potential. A modernized Ottoman Empire might have embraced a federal structure, evolving its millet system, which allowed religious communities to self-govern, into a broader framework where Arabs, Armenians, Kurds, and Greeks retained autonomy while contributing to a united empire. This could have mirrored Switzerland's cantonal system, fostering cooperation among diverse populations. The Ottomans also had access to vast human resources from their diverse territories. A coordinated modernization effort could have tapped into this talent pool, with engineers from the Balkans, merchants from Syria, and scholars from Egypt contributing to national development. Could a more inclusive Ottoman Empire have become a model for multicultural governance? By avoiding the Young Turk Revolution of 1908, which exacerbated ethnic tensions, the Ottomans might have fostered loyalty through shared prosperity rather than suppression. Imagine a Middle East united under a single, adaptable leadership. But how would this cooperation have shaped global events like World War I and the discovery of oil? A surviving Ottoman Empire could have reshaped the geopolitical map of the 20th century. Instead of aligning with Germany during World War I, the Ottomans might have pursued neutrality or acted as mediators. Their control of strategic waterways like the Bosphorus and Dardanelles, vital routes linking Europe to Asia, could have made them indispensable power brokers. Oil-rich territories like Mesopotamia and Arabia could have transformed the empire into an energy superpower. Imagine Ottoman engineers discovering oil in the early 1900s and using the revenue to modernize infrastructure and strengthen their military. This centralized control of resources might have reshaped the global economy long before the formation of OPEC. The Ottomans might also have played a crucial role in preventing the partitioning of the Middle East. By leveraging their influence over regional tribes and leaders, they could have negotiated treaties that maintained local stability. Could a diplomatically adept Ottoman Empire have become the region's leading voice in global affairs? Without the Sykes-Picot Agreement, 1916, which divided Ottoman territories between Britain and France, the Middle East might have avoided decades of conflict stemming from artificial borders. But even with wealth and power, could the Ottomans balance progress with stability? The Ottoman Empire had a long history of fostering knowledge and innovation. Figures like Taqi al-Din, a 16th century astronomer, and Hezarfen Ahmed Çelebi, who reportedly flew with artificial wings over the Bosphorus, highlight its inventive spirit. In an alternate timeline, the Ottomans might have invested heavily in public education, establishing universities that rivaled Oxford and Cambridge. Imagine Ottoman scientists pioneering renewable energy, revolutionizing aviation, or competing in the global space race. The empire's geographic position could also have made it a center for global trade and research. Imagine a pan-Eurasian scientific network, where researchers from Istanbul, Alexandria, and Baghdad collaborated on groundbreaking projects. Could this have accelerated global progress in medicine, engineering, and even space exploration? Projects like the Baghdad Railway, which historically connected Berlin to Baghdad, could have become the backbone of a vast trade network linking Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. Such advancements might have turned the empire into a hub of technological progress and global commerce. But could such advancements protect the empire from the rising tide of nationalism? The Ottoman Empire's collapse left a vacuum that colonial powers exploited, leading to decades of instability in the Middle East. But in a world where the empire survived, the region might have developed under a unified vision. The Hejaz Railway, originally built to connect Damascus to Mecca, could have expanded into a network of trade routes uniting the region. By fostering economic integration, the Ottomans might have prevented the rise of extremist ideologies by addressing economic and social inequalities early on. Additionally, the Ottomans' historical role as mediators between Sunni and Shia communities could have paved the way for greater religious harmony. By maintaining centralized authority over religious disputes, could the empire have prevented some of the sectarian conflicts that later divided the region? Without interference from Britain and France, countries like Iraq and Syria might have emerged as cohesive regions within a federated Ottoman system. Picture bustling cities like Baghdad and Aleppo thriving as centers of innovation, trade, and cultural exchange. But could an empire built on diversity withstand the pressures of modernization and globalization? A thriving Ottoman Empire in the 20th century would have reshaped the global balance of power. Its position at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa would make it a key player in Cold War politics. Imagine the Ottomans negotiating with both the United States and the Soviet Union, leveraging their control of oil and strategic waterways. Culturally, the empire might have continued to bridge east and west. Ottoman-inspired designs, domes, arches, and intricate patterns could have influenced global architecture. Imagine skyscrapers in Istanbul blending traditional Ottoman styles with modern materials, becoming icons of innovation. Furthermore, the Ottoman Empire might have played a leading role in fostering global cultural exchange. With Istanbul as an intellectual hub, could the empire have helped bridge divides between the developed and developing worlds, fostering a new era of global cooperation? So, here's the question. Could the Ottoman Empire, with all its diversity and ambition, have truly adapted to the demands of the 20th century? Or would nationalism and globalization have fractured it once again? Perhaps the true legacy of the Ottoman Empire isn't in what it was, but in what it might have been. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating journeys into alternate history.